Hi everyone, welcome to another Play MPE webinar. I hope you are all doing well and staying safe during these interesting times. Thank you so much for signing up and logging in today. We are very excited to give you the walkthrough of our Play MPE player, update you on some changes we've delivered since last time, help you, get around and do things in a more efficient way. And obviously answer any questions you may have for us. Last time I was so excited to get things going that I forgot to introduce myself, and I was warned not to do that again. So my name is Alan. I am the Director of Operations at Play MPE. And with me I have my colleague Kaltar from Business Development, who will be presenting in a minute. And when I say with me, I mean remotely. We are social distancing, definitely. Just a few notes before I hand it over to Koltar, before he starts the presentation. On your left side, under Q&A, you can submit any of the questions you have for us anytime during the webinar. I can see that some of you already did submit some questions. So we will get to that after the presentations, try to answer as many as we can. For anything related to any support or technical issues, we will have our support contact you shortly after. And just a quick reminder on other ways you can reach us, reach out to us at any time, not just during the webinar. You can do that by going to our website, playmp.com, and use our super cool support chat option, or you can simply email us at support@plaympe.com. Just like last time, the recording of the webinar will be available on our website and on our YouTube channel in the next few days. So if you miss anything, or if you have colleagues you want to share this with, or you just want to watch it all over again, you can always do that. And once we post it, we will send a notice to everybody so that you know that it's available and have a link for it. So I'm going to pass the microphone to Koltar now. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and looking forward to hearing from you all. Koltar?
Thank you very much, Alan. I'm just going to share my screen here. So welcome everybody to the webinar. Like Alan, I'm not going to make the same mistake. So my name is Koltar, and I'm with the business development team here at Play MPE. So I'm going to go and dive into the functionalities of the player, walking through how you guys can all access all your favorite releases that you're looking forward to during this time. So what you're looking at right now is the Play MPE login screen. So this is where you'll see right when you go to the website, player.plaympe.com. You'll also be able to access this player from our homepage as well, just by logging in the top right corner. But you'll notice a few things up at the top left. There's an About page that'll take you to our website, as well as a support link that you can access anybody on our support team by submitting a ticket through this page here. And then right beneath that, we have our language selection as well. So you can localize it to whatever language you're familiar with, that you are localized to. So that just makes it that much easier for you guys to navigate. You can see here in the top right, there's a phone number as well that you can reach out to us anytime you have questions or if you're in need of support. So you'll see here, log into your Play MPE account. Right beneath it, just an option for an email address. So there's two options to log in through Play MPE. The first one is email address only. So if I was to click here and put in my email address and hit OK there, it'll just say that we've just sent you something, check your email inbox. So what you'll get there is a link that will populate pretty much immediately, as you can see here in your inbox, that will say, just to gain access, simply log in by clicking the button below. So if I click this sign into Play MPE button, it will automatically open it up to the home page, and then you're ready to dive into releases. But there has been a recent update since the last time that we logged in through that process in the Play MPE player. There is now an opportunity to utilize logging in through a password and email, similar to how it was before our update. So this is for anybody who might not be accessing their email on the computer where they're accessing their releases, or if you're on multiple devices and you find that you might not be able to access your email on certain devices, then you can still go ahead and put in your password just like normal. There is a selection box here, as you can notice, underneath the login. that just is a checkbox for a public computer. So there's a little highlight there that says what this is for, but essentially it's for any computer where it's not your desktop or it's not your home computer that you're normally using. So you just want to make sure that once you're done, it does log you out automatically from the session. So you can select that for that case. If you don't select that, it will just keep you logged in. So this is just to avoid having to log in every time on your home desktop or laptop. So once you log in this first time, you will stay logged in, and anytime you come back to the player website, you will automatically be put into there. If there is the off chance that you forgot your password, you can always click this link down here. And for those that are newer to play MPE, if you maybe have somebody on your team that needs to get access to the player, you can click on this Apply Now link, and it'll come up with just some fields to fill out, and then it'll come through to our team just to verify, and then we can assign you access as well. But I'll just go ahead and log in now and access Play MPE right away. So this is the homepage that you'll see when logging in. You'll notice that it's all thumbnail views for the releases here. Chronologically, it'll show up the most recent releases at the top, and it'll have an infinite scroll. But I'll just go through everything within the player just from top to bottom for everyone here now. So on the left-hand side, you'll see this Play MPE icon. This is an active button. This will always take you home no matter where you are in the player. So if you're gone diving down some rabbit holes of releases and you want to just come right back to this release page, you can click this button and it'll take you right back home, as well as this releases tab. This will bring you back as well, as you can see that little home icon to take you right back here. Moving across the top, we have a little magnifying glass button here, and that is for the search functionality. So if I'm clicking into this, you can type in and search anything you want right now. So if I was, for instance, to do the 5 seconds of summer, they had a recent release. If I type that in, you'll see all the top results that will match as much as possible. So you'll see the 5 seconds of summer solo releases are here. This will be maybe a couple features for other artists as well. But then not only will it give you the top results, it will also give you highlighted results from songs, artists, releases overall, as well as labels. So it will just give you a snapshot of all things that you might be looking for, and you can always click in to see all of those results just by clicking the See All buttons there. But the search functionality is very, very powerful. So whatever you're looking for, just type it in there, and you'll be able to find whatever you need. If you wanted to clear this and search again, you can click this X button here, and it'll just bring you back to the search page. You'll see your most recent searches here, so you can always go back and automatically click those to get back into those. But if you wanted to just go back now to the releases page, you could either click home, like I mentioned previously, or just click that X button, and it'll take you right back. So moving forward, there's a little funnel icon right beside the search button there. So this is for filtering specific content. So if I click that, you'll see filter at the top there. So we have 2 filters you can use. The first one is formats. So if I was to click this and open it all down, you'll see all the formats listed there. So you'll have things like AAA or alternative or whatever format would apply to you. So if I was to select just at the top here at AAA, it will real-time filter everything at the bottom for you there, and you can just deselect it right away. Or you can hit the clear button at the bottom if you did want to reset any of the filters. The second filter that we have is for markets. So currently we have a filter for Canadian content. So for our Canadian programmers out there, you can select this and it will automatically filter all the Canadian content out for you. And you'll notice that there's a little maple leaf icon beside all of those. And we'll be adding more markets as they become applicable. So this will be something that not only in Canada, but globally that you'd be able to use just to access your releases that much quicker. Moving across the top here now, there's a little icon here that allows you to change your views. So right now, this is the thumbnail view that a lot of people know and love. But if you wanted to change it to a list view, you click that button there, and it'll operate the same way. It'll default to having the most recent release at the top with a scroll that just continues on infinitely. But then you can also sort and filter things at the top when anything that has an arrow. So you can sort and filter by artist, by title, duration, available date, and there's tons of more information here as pertaining to each release as well, like the duration of each release, the number of tracks available, as well as the label and the formats that were tagged by the labels for searchability. So you can go through between those fields of whichever one is appropriate for you or whatever suits your workflow the best. Just to go across the top again, there's a little icon here that represents our chats. So that's a little couple of chat bubbles there. So if you click this open, it'll bring up a little conversation bubble here, and all of the conversations that you would have had with any of our support team through chat will be saved. So you can see Sean here. I did a little test earlier, and he said, yo, so I can go in and always talk to him if I ever needed to again, just by clicking there through here, just to type in any sort of message saying, hey, please help, I need new music. And then just hit enter, and it'll automatically assign whoever's available. But you can always go back and here's Sean, ready to help me out whenever I need it. Always on top of it. Our support team is great, so you can always reach out to them whenever they have any questions, anytime you need it. There you go. And you can move this anywhere around the screen as well. So if you wanted to move it, if there was other things going on, you could. But if you wanted to hide it again, you can just click this little button, and then you can carry on. Thank you, Sean, for assisting me there. So across the top again, after the chat icon, is the little download arrow. So this will be for your download queue. Anything that you've downloaded will show up here, and it'll give you results, and I'll show that in action in a little bit. But everything that you have downloaded or are in the process of downloading will show up here for you to use right away. There's a little download settings option as well. If you click on that, you can actually choose your preferred method of download in terms of the format. So it'll default to WAV files, but you can also download as MP3, again, whatever fits your workflow best there. The last icon across the top is the person icon there, and that's just to get into your account and setting information. So the first field that will show up is the account information. So you can change any of this info on the fly. If you change stations or if your company name changes or anything like that, you can save that info here. You can even set your default language, and that's fully available to edit. The next one here is your email notification settings. So if you wanted to add another email, let's say you had your email domain changed, so I've had a couple domains here, you can just click add another email, type it in there, and it'll come to us for validation. And then you can also select which of these emails here will receive the main notifications. About the notifications as well, you have fully the customization of how often you receive the releases and notifications. So right now I've set to per release. So every email blast will come through to my address there that I've highlighted. But I can click this and I can actually set it to a weekly email blast that I get with a summary of the releases that I've received. Or if my workflow is just to come into the player, I can set it to none. But I want to receive all the emails. It helps me stay on top of it. So I'm going to stay on per release there. The next setting that you have here is similar to the download settings. It's just the format. So if you want to change your format to MP3, you can also do it here. So it's just another easy access for you. The next one is cancel all sessions. So if you were logged in on multiple devices, let's say you were moving your home desktop and you wanted to make sure that everything was logged out on all the other laptops, you can cancel all sessions here, and it'll immediately ask you to log back in on any of your devices that you were logged in on previously. And then moving on, just to log out is obviously if you're done, you can just log out right away and you're good to go. So I'm going to go back home here now, and I'll highlight now how you can just navigate your releases and start listening to music. So over in the thumbnail view, you'll notice that as I hover over all of these little albums, these icons start to appear. So the farthest left icon is the play button. So if I were to play this here, it'll start to play right at the bottom for us in this song card, and it will show up in the queue as well. This play button, as you can see, has a layered play button. What that means is that there's multiple releases in this single release. So it might be a multi-version, it could be an album, and it will show up here as well that there are multiple tracks in your queue. So if I was to click an arrow down, it will actually show all the tracks that are available in the queue. You can remove them as well right there with the X button if you'd like at any time, or play any of the songs that have been queued up there. So that's just a quick and easy way just to start playing the song right away. The middle icon here is actually a new development for Play MPE. So you can actually download the singles directly from here, and it would just be the audio only. So that means no album art or copyright metadata information would be included in this form of the download. It is just the singles involved. So if I was to download or click the download button on this one with the multi version, it'll start downloading both of the singles that are within there one after the other for you. So you can see it's downloading there, and it'll pop up at the bottom, just going directly into your downloads folder, one after another. I can at any time clear my completed just by clicking that there, so I can see that I have no active downloads. But it's a handy feature just to get to the music right away. If you know that there's a release, I really want this song and I need this audio now, just click this little eighth note button and it will download. Same thing for a single, it'll just do it solely for the single track here. The third icon here is to bring up the detailed information of the track. And there's multiple ways to get into this. So I'll highlight the detailed release information in a little bit. But if you were to just highlight over the icon here and click into this release, then this will bring up what is called our song card. So you'll have a lot of the same functionality of the three dots. So you'll be able to play right away from here and it'll load it up in the queue. You can hover over each of these individual tracks and download the same thing. If I just want this single audio track, I can click it here and it'll start to download right away into the queue. But let's say there was the previous fact of I wanted to download everything that was in here, including the album art, the copyright and metadata information, as well as all the audio assets. This download button here, so it looks slightly different from the download button to download just the audio. It's similar to the download queue logo. This is what you would click now to download everything in a zipped file. So if I was to click this now and look at my download queue, I'll be able to see now that this whole thing is downloading and it will start to show up as a zip folder here. And in that will have all the information that you would absolutely need within the release. So now you have two methods to download. You can either download the music or you can download the entire package. Some other features of the song card here that I'll highlight are these play next and play later buttons. So this is for the queue. So if I wanted to line this up and play next, then it'll show up as the entire release to queue it up there. Or if I wanted to play it later, I can actually have it so it queues up beneath it. So if I was to open up a different release here and go play later, then I can see that it shows up on the bottom of my queue. So if you're just searching and navigating and discovering music while you're listening to some other stuff, you can always queue it up after the fact, and that way you'll be able to just continuously listen. Moving across, there's a flagged option here. So if I wanted to flag this release to listen to it later in this song card, I can just click it here and it will automatically show up in this flagged portion, which I'll show you in a second, but it'll be available for you just to listen to at any point in time later. Similarly, you can also archive releases now. So this would be to actually remove it directly from the releases screen. So it'll come out of sight and out of view, and it will show up in the archive section. And you can restore any of those archive section songs at any point in time if you choose to. And then the last button here, this little plus sign, is actually to add to playlists. So you can add it to any playlist that you already have existing. So I already have a few here that you can see. So I can add it directly to the webinar playlist, and it'll give you a little notification that it's been successfully added. Or you can actually go ahead and create a new playlist directly from here, and it'll just take the information and automatically put that directly into that new playlist for you. So the same thing can be done on each of the individual tracks of a release if it is a multi-version. So you can see here that I can also flag this single for later, and then anywhere there's that little plus sign, I'll still be able to do the same of queue it, play next, play later, or add it to any of the playlists that I choose. So now there's this little eye icon again as well. So I'm going to go into it now that you can access either from the thumbnail or from here. If I was just to click on this now, it'll take me into a detailed view of the release information. So there's two panels here, one on the left, which has the overview of information, this promo tab. The promo tab is actually what was included in the email blast that was sent out. So this will have all the detailed information of the press release, anything that the label or artist or promoter or whoever was delivering the music would have put into their email blast, and everything is accessible here for you at a glance. The other tab that's included in this portion of the release information is the overview section. In this area, it will show all of the metadata involved. So it all depends on the label itself to put the metadata in. So here's one that was sent through Universal Music Canada. It'll show things like ISRC that are required for Canadian radio and many other markets as well, the writer information. Anything that was listed with the asset when being delivered will show up here for your ease of use and access. So for the Canadian content, it'll show you exactly the MAPL here. And all this is downloadable as a PDF as well. So you can go into that and it'll just download it directly into your download folder with all the information that you need. So I'll go into this solid card again directly from the thumbnail just to show you the functionality of the release information on the right-hand side here. So you'll notice a lot of the same icons will show up in multiple views, again, just so you can do anything that you need from every location. So downloading here, you'll notice that it's the download button that has that arrow, which means that it'll download the entire zip folder for you again. Here you can unflag and flag the tracks that you're looking for, archive again, or add to the playlist as shown earlier. And then it'll also show up with the track list here below, so you'll be able to see the different edits. You can play it directly from here again, so it'll just start playing directly at the bottom. And it'll also have the opportunity, if you wanted to dive deeper and to have some more functionality, these three dots, anywhere that you see them, it will always detail more information. So if I click that, I'll be able to download this individual song, add this individual song to a playlist, or again, either play next or play later, and whatever works for you there. Any attachments that were included in the email blast will also show up here under attachments. So this, you can download all the attachments directly from the overview section if you do need it. So from here, I'll go back to the home page. And I will change the view to list view so you can see the functionality as well of navigating releases here. So as I mentioned previously, you can sort everything from the top, play the releases directly from here in total. If I clicked on this line, it'll bring up the song card that I know previously from the thumbnail view, and it'll have all the same functionality there. And then again, you'll notice the three dots on the right-hand side. So if I was to click into the three dots, then you could download the audio directly from here, access the release information. So that was that little eye icon, which would take me right back to here. Or if I wanted to, you could also add to playlists or queue it later, as I'll show you right here. So you can click there and it'll open up so you can do the queue, create playlists, or add them to any of your existing playlists. For the little song card at the bottom, there's a couple ways that you can navigate through releases here as well. So you'll notice the little eye icon again that will take you into the release information, or you can use this addition symbol to do the same things of adding to the playlist as well. And another little feature addition is that we have highlighted this artist. So if I was to click on this artist name, it'll actually bring up any other releases that this artist had previously as well. So you can see that there was a release here back in January of last year, and it has all the formats tagged, and it's just like similar to the list view. You'll be able to navigate it nice and easy from there. So I'll dive a little bit deeper now into this left-hand side just so you can see where everything is organized in the subsections. So all the playlists that I was mentioning that when you're adding or creating to will show up here. So you'll see that new playlist I created here is right there, as well as any of the other playlists that I have. If you do have lots of playlists, you can link as many as you want. You can search through them here. And as a tidbit of information, these playlists will sync up with your Play MPE app as well. So anything that you're doing on the go or anything that you're doing here, you'll be able to access on the app as well. You can do a little bit of a filter or a sort, I should say. So you can do either sort by newest, sort in alphabetical, or if you have any starred playlists, if you know that there's a few playlists that you want to continue to come back to, whether it be for music meetings or anything of that sort, if it was even from a sender side, if you had your catalog in here that you wanted to take into meetings, you can always star these, and then obviously those starred ones will always stay at the top for you. I'll take a look into a playlist here, and you can see, so here I had Kate Renata's album from a while ago, but you can see this entire playlist, and you can play all from here. You can actually edit the name directly from here as well, just using that pencil icon. You can clear the playlist. You can also download the playlist as a PDF. So if you had an assortment of music that you wanted to share with someone else, just like the track listing, you can just download that PDF and share it with anybody that you need to. You can also download the playlist in its entirety. So if you click this download, it'll download all 17 tracks. If you want to remove the playlist, you can as well from here. There's an option there to remove it. And then in the list view, it'll operate similarly to the list view that I highlighted previously. So sort by artist, title, or duration. You can also sort just the play sequence just by clicking and dragging and dropping like this, and you can move that around as you see fit. And then the same three dots exist on the right-hand side there. So if you wanted to download it or add to another playlist or remove it from this playlist, you can do that right from the three dots on the right. So I'll move onwards to the flag section. So the flag section, you can see that song that I flagged earlier now lives in here. Any songs that you flag will show up in here. Same thing as the list view previously. If you want to clear the list at any point in time, you can highlight it up at the top there, and it clear them all, and it'll automatically empty it. If there's nothing here, it'll just prompt you to go right back to your releases. If I were to go back to my releases now, and I would, let's say, go into the song card and archive this release at the top. So I'll archive it. There you go. It's been shown that it's now been archived. I'll take you into the archive section to show you what that looks like. So now it's all here. You'll notice that that release has been removed from the top. If I go to the thumbnail view, you'll see that it's no longer there. That's again for any releases that you just wanted to get out of your view, keep the releases nice and tidy for you. You can put that there, but it operates the same as the list view again. So you can go into the right-hand side, and if I want to restore this track, it's just as easy as clicking restore here. Or if you wanted to restore all, there's a button at the top where you can do the same. So it's not lost forever. It's all here. You can always restore it, and it's fully functional however you want to use it there. The next one is recently played. So you'll always have a track list of all of your recently played history. If you were playing through, obviously, you can always go back and navigate that there and access all the recent songs that you want to navigate again. And once you're all done with your recently played, you can, again, click back home or click the Play MPE logo, and it'll take you right back to the home page. So that is pretty much it for the functionality for the Play MPE player. It's nice and easy to navigate through. All the functionality is available in many different pages, so you're not bouncing around between pages. But yeah, that's it for me. I'll turn it over back to Alan for some questions now.
Thank you, Coltar, for this great presentation and for explaining everything in details. We had a lot of questions throughout the presentation that were of sort of support nature. So for those of you who submitted those, some of them we already replied to. Some of them we will follow up. One of our support agents will follow up with you directly and make sure that everybody is everybody's problems are solved. More than a few of you submitted feedback that is more in line of suggestions or requests. So I'm just going to share a few, and again, we will follow up with everybody who messaged us in any way. So all of your feedback is welcome and at any time. So Michael asked, are there any plans to allow us to share playlists or even releases from our account? I am assuming with the colleagues or other player users. Another one was from William, who was talking about the song card that Colter was showing, and the suggestion was, when you click the play icon, it obviously starts in the player. There is no way to stop the track without closing out the song card. It would be cool if the play icon turned into the stop button, and this would prevent users from having to go back and find the song card in the releases view to listen to the next track of the same release, etc. Steve asked if tempo in BPM can be added to releases as a metadata. And then Keith had a question. Frequently, the promo is not listed to download and needs to be copied and pasted any other way. So for all of those, these are all great suggestions, and we will make sure that our product hears them and considers them for further player improvements. None of these things are currently available in our player. A couple of questions that we had, and I'll let Coltar answer them and show them. So we had a question from Stephanie, who's asking, how do I download all metadata like ISRC and publishing? Coltar?
Yeah, great. So if I wanted to go in and download solely the metadata information, if I was to click this download PDF button, it'll automatically download the PDF with all the track title information. But also, this download button will include everything in a folder. So remember this arrow download, as opposed to if I was to go back to the song card, for instance, you would see that little eighth note download right there. So that's to download the individual track. This little icon, whether it's in the release information or on the song card, is how you would download all of the metadata along with any of the other assets. So it will come in as a zip folder at the bottom, and it'll go directly into your downloads folder. And that would come as an Excel file, so you can navigate it and import it into any system that you would need, or you can copy and paste it. But all the metadata would be included there, as well as that download PDF section in the actual release information. So all the metadata would be available there for you too.
Thank you, Coulter. Another question came from Kenny. The question is, I'm not getting a lot of music in my account. How can I get more?
Yeah, it's a great question. So if you need more music, or if you're looking for specific formats, please reach out to our support team, either through our website or either through the player here, and we can validate and look into getting you as much content as possible. And also, if you're requesting it from specific labels, you could always reach out to them, asking for them for specific content. But if you're looking for specific lists or for new formats or anything like that, please reach out directly to our support team, and we'll be more than happy to help you out.
Thank you, Coulter. And maybe one more question that just arrived, and it's very interesting because it's coming from a different audience. The question is from Kazuko. How can we take advantage of the sources that received the release? What actions should the artist take after the release is sent out? How can we review recipients of the release? Coulter?
Okay, that's a great question. So if you are on the sender side and you've delivered your music or your release to the list that you selected through Play MPE, then through the reporting page, we give you some insight into who's engaged with your activity or engaged with your release. So you'll be able to see who has done things like streamed or downloaded or accessed any other information. We won't give out any specific contact information just due to privacy policies. But in terms of following up and reaching out, I highly recommend just reaching out directly to the stations through any of their contact information that they provide online, and looking to connect with the individual that would have engaged or interacted with your track. That would be the best way, because you're right, you would need to do that extra contact and follow up afterwards to try and get your track a little bit more exposure. But that would be the route to go. We provide you with as much information as we can, but from there, it would be a bit of research on yours.
Thank you, Coulter. That was great. And this kind of brings us to the end of this webinar on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. For some of you, evening. For some of you, maybe even Friday morning. I want to thank Coulter for doing a great presentation. And I want to thank all of you for joining us and for asking amazing questions. So as we said at the beginning, just like last time, the recording of this webinar will be available on our website and on our YouTube channel, and we will send some communication when that's ready so you can all get the link and get to it. What else can we say? Stay safe. Thank you for being part of this incredible industry, music industry, and providing the world with much needed relief and support. And until some next opportunity. Thank you.